Well, Manny, I'll just start. How do you feel about your performance through the first 3 games here?
Man, it's been okay. You know, you can always do more. There's always rooms for improvement. But for the most part, man, it's just me trying to carry out my job and take care of the things I'm supposed to take care of. But you can always bring more to the table, and there's always more that you can do. And when I say you, I'm speaking in regards to myself.
I'm sure there was people looking at your situation. You're 34. You haven't played since 2019, kind of being like, they didn't know what to expect from you this season. How have you been able to come in and get off to the type of start you've been able to get off to, considering, your age and you've been off for 3 years?
Yeah, I've been off no years. The year I was out, everybody was out. There wasn't football in 2020. I played football in 2021. So, yeah, people just kind of mix up the dates, and I don't know what they're thinking about. But for me, man, it's just coming in, doing the job that's asked, and just carrying out my role within this team and playing for the guys on the side of me. That's the biggest thing. But, when you get on the Twitters, the social medias, hey, why are they signing this guy? And, you read all that kind of stuff, but you got to have thick skin to deal with it. And, you just got to deal with the naysayers, the haters, and at the end of the day, it's about competing with that guy in the mirror, and that's yourself. You got to block out the outside noise and just do your job. And for the most part, that's how I look at it, like people factor in my age. They factor in, hey, he been out of football for 3 years. Not sure what calendar they looking at, but the whole thing is if you can play, you can play. Because when I'm in my gear, no one knows my age. So it's all about production, and these guys keep me young. So I guess that's the good part about it.
How has your game changed since 10 years ago or whatever, or how has it changed?
It hasn't really changed. More so, things slow down. But my style of play is one of those physical type receivers, using my pads, not being afraid to hit somebody in the mouth, get in there and block, catch the ball between the hashes. And my thing is, man, I'm trying to do whatever it takes, man, to keep a job. And football is a what have you done for me lately business. So it's week to week in my mindset, because until you've been released, cut from a team, you don't understand it. And that's why I don't take any of these days for granted. At the age of 34, still going as hard as I go, because I know in the blink of an eye, all this can be gone, whether it's a coach's decision, whether it's an injury. So you just got to go out here and play football.
Just one last question for me about the TigerCats. You guys have had a few days here to prepare for them.
Yeah.
Their defense has gone off, to a slow start. They've given up 90 points basically in the first 3 games. What have you seen from their D? Where can you guys take advantage of them?
Man, when it comes to Hamilton, what they do is their business. We got to worry about Edmonton Elks organization and how we're going to go out there and execute. You can't really look in the past and look what teams done, or even look at records, because each game is a new game. So for me personally, man, I can care less what's going on over there. My focus is how we going to win this next game and get in the win column for this Edmonton Elks organization.
Manny, it's not a young receiver room in there, and yet you're talked about as a leader on this team. What does that look like when you're mentoring a guy like a Darrell Walker or Kenny Lawler? These guys, they're well-established players.
Yeah, it's all about your preparation throughout the week. What time I'm showing up at the facility? Am I jogging in between plays? Am I harping on the little things? Eye discipline, hand placement. Am I bringing energy? How I carry myself within the weight room. So it's ways to lead guys without always being vocal. And my biggest way of leading is by example. You ain't got to always shout. You ain't got to make things obvious. And them the kind of leaders you don't want. You want people that's going to gravitate towards your energy and who you are as a person. And when I came up in the league, you had those kind of guys that led by example. And nowadays, that's what you got to do. Lead by example. And if guys trying to further their career and stick around, they're going to gravitate towards that, because it's about being consistent. And it's just, sometimes you just got to, it's action, less talk, more action. And people, your role comes by how you operate. Let me say that. You don't pick and choose leaders and all that. You pick and choose captains. But when it comes to being a leader, that just comes with the territory of how you handle your business on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.